Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be covering Adam X. He made his first appearance in X-Force Annual, issue number 2, that was released in August of 1993. His real name is Adam Neramani Summers, also going by various aliases, one of which being X-Treme, which he got for his extreme powers and temper. Now, Adam is a genetically engineered half-breed Shi'ar and human mutant, being the younger half-brother to Gabriel, Alex, and Scott Summers, aka Vulcan, Havok, and Cyclops, as well as being an uncle to very popular mutant beings, particularly Nathan Summers, aka Cable, with Adam X standing 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing 210 pounds, also having blue eyes and blonde hair, although his blue eyes glow red when his power is activated. Now, he also has 2 very short retractable blades on the back of his forearms. These are made from a very strong unknown Shi'ar metal and extend from the back of his hands whenever they're needed. These obviously help him bleed people, which is directly tied to his mutant power, which is electro-kinetic haemo-pyrokinesis. This gives him the unique ability to ignite the electrolytes in blood, which can cause individuals to burn from the inside out. However, to use this power, he has to first saturate his opponent's blood with oxygen, which means he's become a master at using various blades, only needing to inflict a slight cut to use his power. When he uses the ignition word burn, he can cause anything from a slight warming sensation all the way up to instantly vaporizing an individual, although he typically falls somewhere in the middle, just enough to knock them out. And he can also use this ability on multiple individuals at the same time, although this can leave him in a weakened state. But this ability can also be used on himself. However, in these instances, it's used to enhance his speed and agility for short bursts. And this can also cause him a degree of pain. Adam X is extremely strong, although I'd say he falls short of even having low-level superhuman strength, but he does have vast superhuman agility and reflexes, being far quicker than any human or Shi'ar. He also has moderate superhuman speed, being able to run several miles in just a few short minutes, while also having greatly enhanced eyesight and a low-level healing factor. And that's not to mention that he's an accomplished pilot, as well as an extremely high-level hand-to-hand combatant, particularly using bladed weapons. The only thing that could be considered a weakness is that Adam's brothers are immune to his attacks, although he's also immune to theirs, which happens to be common in the Summers family. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Adam is a genetically engineered mutant created from the DNA of Emperor D'Ken of the Shi'ar Empire and Catherine Summers from Earth. He was part of the Emperor's attempt to introduce the genetic potential of other species into the Shi'ar royal family. At a young age, he was taken from the lab by Jonath, a former commander of the Emperor's personal guard, and brought to an outback farming planet called Shi'ar, being raised as Jonath's own son and taught to fight and farm. But after many years went by, his mutant powers would manifest, and the villagers around him would shun him out of fear. This is when Jonath would tell Adam that he was a hybrid and that he should visit Earth to learn a little more about his powers. But although Emperor D'Ken had long been out of power, the Crystal Claws, who were followers of the former emperor, learned of Adam's existence and wanted to use him to reclaim the throne of the Shi'ar Empire. But Jonath refused to give him up, and this resulted in a violent confrontation where Jonath and the villagers gave their own lives to give Adam time to escape. And after Adam got away, he would wander from planet to planet for years, honing his skills as a fierce warrior and pilot. He would eventually decide to go to Earth to learn more about his origins, despite having no knowledge of Earth's culture or people. Yet he would eventually run into Martin Strong, who would offer to help him find information about his origins if he were to help him hunt down other mutants. And Adam would agree to this deal, joining Strong Industries, where he meets and falls in love with Michelle Balters. However, one day she would decide to run away, and Adam would be ordered to return her. But he would retreat after neutralizing the X-Force, who intervened. Ironically, he would later agree to help the X-Force take Strong down and use his powers to defeat him. Cable even offering him a position within X-Force, although Adam would turn it down. He would go on to later be captured by a villain named Arcade and would be forced to fight against the gladiator known as Shatterstar. But the two would eventually join together and defeat Arcade, with Adam learning shortly thereafter about Charles Xavier and his school. Again, he would choose to go a different route and go to Alaska. Here he would witness a crash and save a pilot named Philip Summers, which also led to him meeting Jean Grey, who happened to sense a connection between Adam and the Summers family. Subsequent to this, Adam would go on to have some problems against the Shi'ar agent named Erik the Red, who happened to be the one to reveal to him that he was the child of D'Ken and a woman from Earth, also telling him that his destiny was to rule the Shi'ar Empire. But, as you can expect, Adam rejected his plan to overthrow the ruling Empress Lilandra, and decided to ignore this so-called destiny and continue roaming the Earth. But Erik the Red and the Crystal Claws weren't done with Adam yet, and in a roundabout way to find where he ran off to, they would kidnap Philip and Deborah Summers to force their grandsons Cyclops and Havok to help them. Cyclops' son Cable would find Adam at a farm in Iowa and ask him to meet with Cyclops and Havok in Des Moines. But on his way there, Adam would be attacked by the Starjammers, who had been sent by Empress Lilandra to apprehend him. During this battle, Cyclops and Havok would show up and try to convince Adam to help them, but he refused and ran away. When the Starjammers and Summers brothers caught up with Adam again, he would use his powers on them. However, this is when we learned that the Summers brothers were not affected by Adam's powers, nor was he affected by theirs, and it was apparent that he was their brother. We'd also learn a little more about Adam's physiology when Corsair, the leader of the Starjammers, would show up and fire an energy blaster at Adam's head. They all assumed that they just witnessed Adam being killed by his half-brother Christopher, aka Corsair. But Adam revealed that he was created to withstand a headshot, saying that his brain was in one of his buttocks. It's debated on whether he was being serious or not. And after talking things over, the Starjammers, the Summers brothers, and Adam worked out a plan. They would all go to the blue area of the moon and fight against Erik the Red and his followers, with Adam taking them out with his powers. And despite rescuing Philip and Deborah, Corsair felt uneasy about Adam and called in the Imperial Guard. But Adam would propose a plan to Empress Lilandra to erase everyone's memories of his existence and true heritage, and let him live his life back on Earth. No longer considering Adam a threat, Lilandra agreed, and Cyclops and Havok reluctantly agreed also, with Adam then returning back to the farm in Iowa. From here, Adam X would go on to have many different adventures alongside heroes like the X-Men and X-Force, even joining in the battle against the powerful Kuurth Juggernaut, as well as various run-ins with organizations like Hammer and Sword, not to mention a tumultuous stint on Mojoworld. But either way, one thing's for sure, it may be a good idea to stay on his good side, and keep a few band-aids handy, just in case. Now, for his powers and abilities, and his influence on the Marvel Universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Adam X a rating of 6, which is an expert rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the new Save.